What seemed like just another model update in Tesla's lineup has turned into a tough choice for those eyeing the Model Y. The Juniper has finally arrived, bringing visual and interior changes that stand out, but with one major catch. Tesla is still selling the previous model at a significantly lower price. And it's not just a small discount. It's a price difference big enough to make buyers think twice before deciding which version to take home. So, is it really worth paying more for the Juniper? Or does the older model still hold up as a smart choice? This dilemma isn't random. Unlike most electric vehicle updates, where the new model simply replaces the old one, Tesla has chosen to keep both available simultaneously. This means that instead of just focusing on the Juniper's improvements and new features, buyers need to assess whether these changes truly justify the higher price, or if the older model, despite lacking the latest upgrades, still offers excellent value for money. And to make the decision even trickier, there's another important factor: availability. Those who opt for the previous Model Y can get it almost immediately, while Juniper buyers will have to wait a bit longer for delivery. When placed side by side, the previous Model Y and the new Juniper appear almost identical at first glance. But a closer look reveals that Tesla didn't just make minor aesthetic tweaks. It strategically overhauled the vehicle's design. The goal wasn't just modernization, but aligning the Model Y with the company's evolving design language. This becomes evident both at the front and rear of the car. The most noticeable change at the front is in the headlights. The older model features a rounded headlight design that some compare to wide-open eyes, while the Juniper goes for a sharper, more sophisticated look. Additionally, the new model introduces a horizontal light bar, similar to the one on the Cybertruck, reinforcing the vehicle's futuristic character. This update isn't just about aesthetics. It also enhances functionality, as the new design improves light distribution at night, making driving safer. At the rear, the visual impact is even more striking. Tesla has removed the traditional logo and now spells out the brand name in full, with Tesla prominently displayed across the trunk. This change follows the trend introduced by the Cybertruck and the new Model 3, reinforcing Tesla's evolving identity. Moreover, the Juniper features a full-width rear light bar, giving it a more refined appearance and bringing its design in line with the company's latest releases. Another detail that might go unnoticed but has sparked controversy is the new license plate placement. On the previous model, the plate was positioned higher, centered on the trunk lid. With the Juniper, Tesla opted to place it lower, which has divided opinions among fans. Some feel that the new placement makes the rear look cleaner and more minimalist, while others argue that it leaves too much empty space, making the design appear unfinished. Beyond the visual updates, subtle aerodynamic adjustments have been made to improve the car's efficiency. The Juniper features minor refinements to its bodywork, including a more optimized front bumper that reduces drag coefficient and could contribute to slight energy savings at higher speeds. While this may seem like a minor tweak, in an electric car, any aerodynamic optimization translates into better highway range. The wheels have also been redesigned. In the older Model Y, Tesla offered 19-inch Gemini and 20-inch induction wheels, both in darker shades. With the Juniper, customers can choose between the new 19-inch Crossfire wheels or the 20-inch Helix 2.0 wheels, which reintroduce a silver finish, a look that Tesla hadn't offered in years. While this might seem like a purely cosmetic change, lighter-colored wheels can help reduce heat absorption in hot climates, which may have a subtle impact on tire thermal efficiency. But if there's one update that could truly affect everyday use, it's the frunk. With the Juniper, Tesla has made some significant changes, including the potential introduction of a powered frunk that can open and close automatically. This feature, already available on other Tesla models like the Model S and Model X, makes accessing the front storage compartment more convenient. Additionally, the new frunk now includes a drainage system, allowing drivers to use it as an improvised cooler for road trips. This was simply not an option in the previous model. If there's one thing that stands out about the new Model Y Juniper, besides its updated design, it's the color options, or rather, the lack of them. Anyone familiar with Tesla knows that the company has never been particularly generous when it comes to color palettes. But this time, the selection is even more limited, especially in certain markets. This makes the choice between the old and new model not just about design and price, but also about personal aesthetic preferences. After all, when someone buys a car, they want it to reflect their style, and not everyone is willing to compromise on that. The previous Model Y offered a wider variety of colors worldwide. Some of the most popular options included pearl white multi-coat, solid black, deep blue metallic, ultra red, and stealth gray. However, what truly made a difference were the region-exclusive shades, such as midnight cherry red, available only in Europe, and quicksilver, a sophisticated metallic silver that quickly became a favorite among buyers. This variety gave customers more freedom to choose a look that really stood out. With the Model Y Juniper, the situation is a bit different. In the United States, the options have been reduced to just four: stealth gray, pearl white multi-coat, ultra red, and quicksilver. This means that some classic colors have simply disappeared. For instance, those who like deep blue metallic will have to settle for another option since that shade is no longer available for the Juniper in the US. But the biggest highlight, without a doubt, is the new glacier blue color, a light metallic blue introduced as Tesla's boldest new offering. The problem? It is only available in China and Australia, for now at least. This decision raises some questions. Is Tesla planning to release more colors in the future, or is it deliberately limiting the options to differentiate the Juniper from the previous model? If it's the latter, it makes sense that some exclusive colors would first appear in certain markets before becoming global options. This has happened before with other Tesla colors, and it's possible that Glacier Blue, for example, could be made available in more countries in the coming months. The decision to limit color options might also be a strategic move to streamline production. Tesla is known for maximizing efficiency in its assembly lines, and reducing the number of paint variations could help speed up the manufacturing process. Fewer choices mean less time spent switching paints and making factory adjustments. However, at the same time, this simplification could frustrate customers who were expecting more aesthetic updates to justify buying the Juniper. Another key factor to consider is the relationship between colors and resale value. Generally, some colors are more desirable in the used car market than others. Pearl white, for example, is one of the easiest colors to sell, while more exotic options like ultra red may be harder to move in the future. Those planning to keep their car for many years may not care much about this. But for buyers thinking about trading in their vehicle in a few years, choosing a color that holds good resale value could be an important factor. What really complicates the decision is that all these colors are still available in the previous Model Y. In other words, those who care about a specific shade might end up choosing the older model simply to ensure they get the car in their preferred color. This means that the choice between the two models isn't just about design or technology, but also about personal taste. Beyond the updated looks and reduced color palette, the technology embedded in the new Model Y Juniper is one of the biggest concerns among buyers. After all, what has changed in terms of performance, sensors, and intelligent systems? Does the new model truly bring a significant evolution? Or is this more of an aesthetic update than a functional one? For those looking for an electric car that also represents a technological leap, these questions matter. The first thing to note is that in terms of core hardware, there are no drastic changes. The processor responsible for full self-driving, FSD, is the same in both models, and the external camera system has not undergone significant alterations, except for one important addition: a front bumper camera in the Juniper. At first glance, this small detail may seem insignificant, but in practice, it could considerably improve the car's perception in certain maneuvers. Tesla has been progressively eliminating ultrasonic sensors and relying entirely on cameras for navigation and parking assistance. This shift has sparked controversy among users, as a vision-only system still struggles in certain scenarios, such as tight parking spaces and low obstacles. The addition of the front camera could help mitigate these issues by providing an extra perspective for the computer vision system. However, an important detail to note is that there is still no confirmation on whether this additional camera will directly impact the FSD experience, as Tesla has not yet released specific software updates to fully leverage it. Another issue raised among drivers is the possibility that Tesla might offer a retrofit option for the front-facing camera on the older Model Y in the future. While this is just a rumor for now, Tesla has done something similar with other components in the past. If this option becomes available, the Juniper's technological edge in terms of external vision could quickly lose its relevance. Beyond the cameras, another topic of speculation has been the vehicle's internal connectivity. Tesla has been testing new hardware versions to support future improvements in the car's artificial intelligence, and there were expectations that the Juniper would come with a more advanced processor for that purpose. However, so far, there is no indication that this new model has received any significant upgrades in this area. This means that, at least in the short term, the technological experience between the two Model Y versions remains almost identical. What truly stands out, however, is the lack of changes to the autonomous driving system. Even with the Juniper's arrival, Tesla has not introduced new FSD hardware, meaning that the assisted driving experience will be virtually the same between the two models. This could be a deciding factor for those who were expecting a more noticeable evolution in the car's autonomy. After all, if the driving experience remains unchanged, is it really worth paying more for the updated model? Interestingly, this approach contrasts with Tesla's previous updates. In some past releases, the company introduced noticeable improvements in processing power, cameras, and even overall vehicle performance. But this time, it feels like the Juniper has focused more on design and user experience rather than significant technological advancements. This raises an interesting question. Is Tesla holding back its biggest innovations for a near-future release? Aside from visual and technological changes, the new Model Y Juniper brings some external updates that, while subtle, could make a difference in everyday driving. Tesla has made small refinements that might not be immediately noticeable, but have an impact both on the vehicle's usability and perceived quality. For some buyers, these refinements could be the final push toward choosing the Juniper, while others might see them as minor tweaks without much significance. One of the most notable changes is in the wheels. In the previous model, Tesla offered 19-inch Gemini and 20-inch induction wheels, both with darker finishes. In the Juniper, these options have been replaced with new 19-inch Crossfire wheels and 20-inch Helix 2.0 wheels, marking the return of a silver finish, something Tesla hadn't offered in its lineup for a while. While this may seem like a purely aesthetic change, the lighter wheel color can influence tire thermal efficiency in certain climate conditions, particularly in hot areas where lighter shades help reduce heat absorption. Another update that sparked discussion among Tesla enthusiasts is the possibility of a powered frunk. In the previous model, the front trunk was always a useful feature for extra storage, but opening and closing it was entirely manual. With the Juniper, there are indications that Tesla might have implemented an electric system to make access more convenient, something already present in other Tesla models like the Model S and Model X. However, as of now, the company has not officially confirmed this feature. Additionally, the new frunk has gained an interesting detail: a drainage system. This means that drivers can use it as an improvised cooler, storing ice and drinks for road trips or outdoor events. This is a simple but practical solution that could make the front storage space even more versatile. In the previous model, this option simply didn't exist, which could be a positive point for those who like to use the frunk creatively. The Juniper also received some subtle aerodynamic refinements. Small adjustments to the bumper and bodywork were made to improve the vehicle's drag coefficient, which could slightly enhance energy efficiency at high speeds. While Tesla has not disclosed exact numbers on how these changes affect range, any aerodynamic optimization could translate into a few extra miles on the road. For those who prioritize efficiency down to the smallest detail, this could be a minor advantage for the Juniper. If the exterior changes of the Model Y Juniper seem subtle, inside the car, Tesla has taken the experience to a new level, while the overall interior structure remains the same. With the signature large central screen and the brand's minimalist layout, materials, finishes, and features have been updated to make a noticeable difference in the driver's and passenger's daily experience. For those who value a more sophisticated and high-tech interior, the Juniper could represent a significant leap compared to the previous model. The most noticeable change is in the dashboard. The wood trim that accompanied previous models has been completely removed and replaced with a new soft-touch material, featuring a more modern design that aligns with Tesla's latest models. This change may seem like just an aesthetic detail, but it directly impacts the perceived quality of the car's interior. The new finish also helps prevent wear and discoloration, which some owners of the older Model Y reported after a few years of use. Another highlight is the RGB ambient lighting, which now runs across the dashboard and extends to the doors. This feature allows drivers and passengers to customize the interior lighting color, creating different atmospheres according to their preferences. Many competing brands had already incorporated this technology, and Tesla has finally decided to bring it to the Model Y. For those who enjoy a more sophisticated and customizable interior, this addition could be a major selling point. But perhaps one of the most welcome changes is the inclusion of ventilated seats. In the previous model, the seats were heated but did not offer cooling. Now, with the Juniper, the front seats come with integrated ventilation, making the driving experience much more comfortable on hot days. This is a feature many drivers have been waiting for, especially in warm climates where leather seats can become uncomfortably hot after hours in the sun. Additionally, rear seat passengers also received a significant upgrade, a new integrated screen in the center of the car. This secondary display allows them to control the vehicle's climate settings, view basic navigation information, and even watch movies or play games while the car is parked. This is a considerable improvement over the previous model, which relied solely on the central touchscreen for all system interactions. For families traveling with children or passengers who enjoy onboard entertainment, this new addition could make a big difference. Another detail that might go unnoticed but represents a major improvement is the addition of power folding rear seats. In the older model, folding the seats down to expand the cargo area had to be done manually. Now, in the Juniper, this process can be done at the push of a button, making it much easier for those who frequently need extra cargo space. For those who use the Model Y for road trips or occasional cargo transport, this small change makes the car even more practical. The audio system has also received improvements. The previous model already had a high-quality sound system, but in the Juniper, Tesla increased the number of speakers from 13 to 15, along with an enhanced subwoofer. The result is a more immersive and powerful sound, perfect for those who love listening to music while driving. While this isn't a groundbreaking change, it is a refinement that enhances the overall in-car experience. Despite all these updates, the overall interior layout remains familiar. Tesla didn't make radical changes, keeping the minimalist approach that has become a signature of the brand. This means that those who are already accustomed to an older Model Y won't have any trouble adapting to the Juniper, but will notice a more refined and comfortable environment. With so many internal upgrades, it's clear that the Juniper isn't just an exterior facelift. Tesla has worked to make the car's interior more sophisticated and functional, adding details that enhance everyday use. But do all these improvements justify the price difference between the models? That's a question that involves not only technology and comfort, but also cost-effectiveness and the wait time to receive the new model.